Guy told me I had to talk about three things, but Rod and I, we can't remember what they were, right? So we'll just go ahead. One thing that it's important that everybody knows, we have a new master plan that our board approved last year, probably in the late in the year. And I think the important thing is, try to cover a master plan in one slide. Really, there's this master plan that we adopted is very similar to the one that has been used for several, I guess at least 10 years or so. And so there's nothing really new, nothing radically new, I don't think, in the master plan. And I think that there's a couple of main concepts to it. I think what I'll talk about today is maybe the way we prioritize the project, maybe that the projects within the master plan, and I think maybe that's the difference. But just briefly, there's some basic concepts to the master plan. Areas 2 and 1, this is a staging plan, so these are the first to be developed. And the envisioned use for this area of the park is applied technology and renewable energy, and I don't think that's anything different. And I think one of the driving forces for that is the fact that this is upslope, it's up higher elevations, it's more difficult to pump the water up here, so it makes sense to put those kinds of uses up here. A big part of the plan is what has been called this so-called economic driver over the years. And as you know, we're a state agency, but we're self-sufficient. We receive no money from the state government to operate. We do receive money for basic infrastructure, but we're a technology park that has to go on our own. And the main idea is for future infrastructure development is this is the only area along just over here along the highway that has been designated for, planned unit development, commercial and industrial development. So the idea is that this would be leased out to one developer, perhaps 60 acres, and whereas everywhere else in the park, you're required to make use of the two main resources that we have here. I think that's the seawater and the sun. That's not a requirement up here, and the board would like to see, those products grown and developed in the park be sold there commercially, but that's not a requirement. And I think that when we did our strategic planning session a couple of months ago, the board, we had thought maybe 4 to 5 years before we would see this begin being developed. The board would like to see it faster, so 3 years is what they would like to see. And I think it's doable. I think it'll take a while to get moving. A big part of that is the road. This road here is called Kahilihili, and we'll be requesting money from the legislature again this year to build that road, $7 million. As you know, the Department of Transportation has said they're going to stop left in, left out here at our main entrance. So I think it's a good thing, actually. We can turn it into a positive. So at Ka'iminani, there will be a fully signalized four-way intersection, and that will be our new front door, and we can make it really beautiful, I think. So maybe there's something nice that can happen with that. And that's that. In Area 3, we have the beach park in the middle, of course. Nothing changes there. Area 3 is pretty much already developed, fully developed, except for the research campus. We only have a few, maybe 9 acres left in that area. Area 4 has a significant amount of conservation land in it that we can't build on, and that's pretty much why it's designated later stage. And Area 5 has absolutely no infrastructure whatsoever. It has no road really to speak of. It has no power, it has no seawater lands, and that area is probably long-term development. So
Where is Solana on that?
Solana is right here at
Okay.
what is called Makako Bay. So that's a quick overview of the master plan. I think this is a current list of the people that are in the park, and orange area is the area that's available for lease. As you can see, if this is not available right now. So you have the beach park, you have the conservation land. So we got about 250 acres left is all, and my concern is that's not that much. We need to be careful on the kinds of projects that we bring in here, and this area here too, again, the reason it is undeveloped is that there are no roads and no seawater pipelines. So we're currently in the process of designing the roads and the seawater pipelines to open up that area. And really, I'll talk a little bit about that later. There are a couple of projects that, these are already being requested. The OTEC project is going to be down here, and then Big Island Abalone has asked for this expansion land here to expand another 8 acres. And then we also have Biotechnology Hawaii, which has made a proposal to the board and is currently in process of doing their environmental impact statement. And that would be about 25 acres, so not a lot left. Purple is, of course, aquaculture, because it's low elevation. The water bottlers, and a little bit energy, which we'd like to see more pink. Blue is education. But that's a quick overview of what we have, and that's why we'll be focusing on this area up here by the Gateway Center.
What's that, the black slash on the far right, lower right?
Conservation.
Right there, yeah.
The green and it's conservation land. So it's about 80 acres. What's that? 83 acres.
Yeah, there's a long history.
Long history.
It's not supposed to be conservation.
It is?
But it is.
So that means it cannot be molested in any
It
way?
means that you have
Not
to
true.
do a lot.
It can be used for aquaculture and solar, so
Okay.
it just has much more restricted use. That was kind of a very complicated, old-time development project. Economic impact, you probably read the numbers, but 87 million. And what we did is we did third party. We hired UH Hero, Economic Research Organization. So, there would be some believability. And so Dr. Bonham did the study. And we focused on expenditures. Of the companies here in the park, the 45 companies here in the park. In the past, really they've focused on revenue is probably not the appropriate way to do an economic impact study. So that's the big difference of why you'll see these numbers so much higher, and I think we really knock it out of the park with these numbers. State tax revenue, $4.5 million. So state on average has been giving us about $2 million for infrastructure developments over the past 5 to 10 years. So that, gives a return on investment to, the taxpayer of $42 for every dollar the state is currently investing in this project. And, that compares to UH, which Dr. Bonham did UH as well, and much, much higher than UH. Of course, you would think it would be. About Holland.
Is the roughly 90 million, is that a cumulative figure or annual?
That's an annual impact. So this is for 2010, the latest data that we had available. So much higher than we ever anticipated. I think they're very solid numbers. Talk a little bit about the park. I'm going to get way off topic, but Tom, I hate to get to say this in front of Tom Daniels because he knows all this stuff, but you know, the people that developed this park in the 70s and had this vision to develop this ocean science and technology park, you just got to give them credit that they had a vision, you know, that this was just all barren black lava back then. And they had the vision to come in here and invest. The state has invested $100 million over the past 30 years, and the federal government has invested $20 million. And so for a small state like Hawaii, we don't have that much money for investing in economic development. And so really what happened is Governor Burns, I think Governor Ariyoshi, Senator Matsunaga, Senator Craven, people like Tom and Jan who've been here for a long time, encourage people. The legislators were critical in this, and they pretty much bet everything on one project because we're the largest economic development project in the state by far, excluding the visitor industry. You got the convention center at $300 million, but there's nothing in the state that compares to the amount of money that the state has invested in this project. And we're getting lucky because, I'm lucky to be here now because they made the right decision 35 years ago to invest in this renewable energy ocean science and technology park. And I don't know how they ever came up with the idea, but they just hit it out of the park with this one, yeah.
I just wondered what ROI, is that over the 30-year period that NELHA has been in?
No, that's like an annual investment. So they're putting in $2 million a year on average.
Okay, for
Yeah.
infrastructure and stuff, like you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's not over the period of time. I think it's just fascinating that they had that vision to do this project. I think it's a wonderful project. 600 jobs, that includes multiplier jobs, so they're not all here. But 25% are in the area, in the STEM area, that we all talk about, wanting to, develop jobs in science, technology, engineering, and math. And, we're hitting that sweet spot, and those kind of projects that we have here are producing those kind of jobs that we all talk about. So I think we're, I've only been here for a year, so I'm a rookie, but I think that all the people that before me, I think we have something special here. So one of the main focuses, I'll talk about the two priorities. Research campus, for us, this is, the tenants have asked us to broaden the revenue streams and generate additional revenues because we are self-sufficient. They would like to see some of the costs for them go down, especially in the seawater system. So low-hanging fruit, this 6-acre area is actually underutilized right now. We could do a much better job of utilizing it, and we're master permitted. It's graded, it's all the infrastructure's there. We don't have to add really much to be able to begin leasing it out, and we need to find those jobs, those kind of projects to fill it up. And what the master plan does talk about is, eventually developing it into that small campus atmosphere. And I think, talking with UH Hilo, Don Straney, Chancellor Straney, I think, we really would like to work closely with them. They would like to work closely with us and see what we can do to build something there. To me, this project says it all. This slide says it all about what our vision is, what our brand is. And this came out of a study in 2003 that they did for the park. But if you want to have a project developed, new technology, this really applies to renewable energy and applied technologies. But what we want to be is here in this space. We don't want to compete with the national labs, the corporate labs, university labs. We're not associated with a major university, like Berkeley or Stanford or Oak Ridge or any of these large national labs. but we want to try to find projects where the research has been done in those labs, and what we are is an outdoor demonstration facility. That's what we are. And so we want to find those projects where they're ready to get out of the lab and start demonstrating outside. We feel that that's our brand, that's our mission, that's what we're going to focus on in the near term. And we think that, you know, we do have additional lands up here where, you know, you could further develop your technology, maybe into the pre-commercial. We want to provide incubator services through an arrangement with Biotechnology Development Corporation, which is our cousin agency, and they would provide the incubator services. And so we want to bring these projects out of the lab, get them through the valley of death into pre-commercial, and you know, move on is the general vision, I think, that we have going forward. And to me, this slide says a lot. We do have, we just got $3 million from the federal government to really, we have a beautiful building that was built in the 30s, and it was built when, that's the 30s, 1980. Keith, what's up with that? It was when Tom Daniel, you know, was I think getting out of high school. We built that.
That's our internet years.
30s. You guys got to stop me. But anyway, it's a beautiful building. They built it when we were on barren lava, and so you can see it has a beautiful wood shop in the back, a machine shop, and all these things that we really don't need anymore. So it's a 9,000 square foot footprint. It's got a beautiful steel superstructure. So the plan is to gut this building completely. It really only has one floor now, so we'll build 2 floors, office space, incubator in the building, and that's what we got the money for. So it should be a very beautiful building. These are some of the basic plans that we have today. And blue is currently our offices. Red is hallways, I think, on the first floor. And then really the yellow is the new area that would be available on the 2 floors for office incubator space. So I think it comes out to about 10,000 square feet of new office space. It's a big moneymaker for us. I think we can do very well, excuse me, in this, you know, and it'll help us fill out that research campus, that 6 acres. So, and when I say talk about going to the national labs and bringing projects, this is, to me, this is the office space we would be offering them, and some of the space around it in that 6 acre that's available for them to get started. About 2 years, tomorrow is the kickoff call actually with the federal government. That's, I think that's a realistic schedule. It's probably, Keith knows me, it's probably aggressive like everything else, but I think we can get it done in a couple of years. It's not that big of a building, you know, 9,000 square feet footprint is not that big. We're just rebuilding the inside. We're nothing to do with the roof, the walls on the outside, and the windows. Everything stays, and it's just building another floor inside. So it's not that complex of a project. So that's our one major priority, and the energy development program is the second one. So I talked a little bit about that. Not basic research. We're a demonstration site. We currently have a plan for this area. Distributed energy resources plan is what we want to focus on, distributed generation. And but it was done in 2003, so it's old. A lot has changed in the world in the last 10 years from a renewable energy standpoint. So we're out to bid right now to hire a company to update that plan, basically, a small project, and we want to add maybe some smart grid and I think, some real-world simulations and clean energy, like it says. OTEC is a big part of our renewable energy strategy. I'll talk about that. And then we just got a grant from NREL for $400,000, which is a nice little fun project for everybody, I think.
What's that stand?
National Renewable Energy Lab, they're out of Boulder. They're one of the national labs. So this is what I was talking about earlier. This is a master plan. And so this area in green is really all the land we have available right now. When I say available, I mean readily available. Of course, we could make other land available if we do some more work, but and the white area is already leased. So really, not a lot, not a lot. And this one is, I guess they got dibs on it, but that's a long-term project with Bioenergy Hawaii. This is the economic driver. These are the roads. So this is really the only area we see for applied technology and renewable energy, and breaking it down like that. Not too bad of a project. This is areas in there, but it's conservation, so we kind of don't see it happening right away. The OTEC project, an update on that. We have been working very hard on this. Ocean thermal energy conversion is why we're here. A proposal from OTEC International. So for me, it's a true public-private partnership. They are not asking for any government money. They're bringing $35 million to the table to develop this plant down here at the bend in the road. Board gave approval and concept. We hope to finalize in the next couple of months. We're shooting for next month, but it's a very complex project. And they talk about 2 years. 1 megawatt is net, so I'm sorry, gross. The amount of power they would produce. They would be using all of the water in our South Seawater system, so they would be using 70,000 gallons a minute here. And they would be producing probably net around 300 to 500. It's hard to say right now. But that is an extremely exciting project. It's right here, right up against the 55-inch pump station. Very small footprint, 2 acres, very tiny project, but huge impact for us.
So if they're using all of the cold water that is provided presently by the pipes that exist, what are the folks and projects going to do that are now using the cold water?
That is a great question. They are using all of the warm and the cold water. Not that we currently pump, but that we have the ability to pump. They'll max out our 55-inch cold and 55-inch warm pipe. And that's a lot of water. That's a lot of mass. This is their plant, a couple of heat exchanger towers, and a small office building. And this is a conception from, but these are the injection wells. So I think that's been replaced. But I'll give you this slide to look at. This is where we're at today with the project, and it doesn't make any sense probably looking at it. This is what we talk about over and over and over again. So this is what we've decided, the staff, and I just can't say enough about the staff at NELHA, because we could never have done this. But what we have is, we have our existing surface seawater system, and then we have our existing cold water system. And what we've done is found a way to put this OTEC plant right in the middle of the project, and they will basically be hijacking all the water that we could eventually pump out of here. And then we will be able to use as much as we want after they're done with it. And all they're going to do is hijack it, take, you know, from a general standpoint, the cold will be 10 degrees warmer and the warm will be 10 degrees colder. They'll use that to create the energy. So our water temperature will change, but we have every contingency scoped out. Keith, we're very comfortable. It can be done. It adds a lot of valves to our project, and
Well, the bottling guys don't care about the temperature, right?
bottling guys are not affected at all by this project because we will, their water, it needs to be as pure as it can get, and they will have water that bypasses the whole project completely. We have a bypass system for them, and we have a little bit of bypass for the surface as well. You know, they sell their water based upon the fact that it's as pure as you can get, you know, and from 3,000 feet deep. So we could never hurt their chances to sell their water. So, and they don't use that much water.
That's true. That's not a lot.
Compared to these guys. But it's a good news for us because everybody has agreed to reuse the water today. It changes daily. Keith does it. Keith is one of the, you know, he's the guy on the staff that thinks outside of the box, and he's caused us a lot of headaches because he said, well, wait, you know, we had to stop for 3 or 4 months and redesign the system, but it's a pretty exciting system, and we think it can work, and there's nothing like it. And so that we're really in the new territory, but I think we can make it go a bit. We have 6 monitoring stations. Those are the green. There is potential for ammonia contamination if there's a malfunction in the plant, and that would be deadly for the abalone people and anybody growing animals.
Right, right.
And 10 degree difference isn't affecting the aquaculture guys?
No, they blend the water anyway, basically, and so we found solutions to that. Nobody really needs the really cold water.
Plus, you have cold water at the north end too, as well.
Yeah, so we have 6 pipes, main pipes, 3 deep pipes, and 3 surface pipes, and 4 are up at the north end, and 2 are down here.
Right.
But you know, there's not many aquaculture people on this line, on the South Seawater system. It's mainly just Big Island abalone. You see them prominently displayed here because you know, they use a lot of water. They use like 15 million gallons a day or something like that. So we have to take care of them. And you know, so we have to, the deal point is that we have to measure 70 parts per billion within 90 seconds, ammonia. And we think we can do it. That's here. And then we also have monitoring stations up near where people start getting water. So we have a way to stop the flow, divert, come back to bypass, and flush the system. And we think we can do it conceptually. We're pretty comfortable. This has a potential to decrease our total pumping cost, is the big win for us, because they've agreed to, when they're in operation, they've agreed to pump all the water for us first. And so it still needs more pumping, but it will save us quite a bit of money.
Do they have enough electric output to power all of Otech, all of us, I mean?
No, they don't. And they can't do it legally either. That's the problem. You know.
Sorry.
There we're stuck with them.
I didn't say that.
What are they gonna do with electricity? Just throw it away?
I don't know, you know, we told them, you know, we have, you know, we have to live in this, even though we don't get money from the state, we have to live in the world of state regulation, which is just a wonderful situation. He reminds me every day, and so we cannot buy power from them. So we just told them, well, you can do whatever you want, we don't care, we just don't want to be part of it.
Can't they just give you power?
Huh?
Can't they just give you power as part of their lease?
They could. I don't think they want to do that. But when we start negotiating, we can call you in. No, they're going to give us some, but you know, they're investing $35 million, so they want to kind of.
Yeah.
And what are they gonna do with the power?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. They have to figure that out. You know.
They can sell it to Halco at purple rates, but they don't want to do that either.
No, that's not a big deal.
They have some ideas, I guess. I'll leave it up to them. They have an excellent legal team. So I just throw that out there. It just, we're very excited. We think we're very, very close. Liability issues and cost issues are the remaining issues, of course. The last project is the NREL project. So we got $400,000 really to start developing a microgrid and the research campus. Now these are the guys at NREL. What they deal with is that, you know, I don't know, you double E guys, they look at the quality of the power on the line. Is that right? They don't care about anything else, but I can't believe how complicated it is. And I don't have all the terms, but there's just a million different things going on. And NREL can't get data behind on the demand side of the meter, so on the customer side of the meter, it's difficult for them to do that. We have variable speed drives on our pumps, which introduce a lot of noise on lines.
Right.
Is that a fair statement? And so we're a perfect test bed for them, so they gave us this $400,000. So what they did is they said, here's some money, build a little solar test bed, because we want to see what that clean power looks like coming in. They said, here, we're going to give you some money for a SCADA system, so a supervisory control and data access system, putting a lot of power meters inside our grid, and looking at, I guess, the harmonics on the lines and the noise on the lines. I'm not an electrical engineer. Keith, can you add anything?
I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. And then they're going to give us they also want to know the weather conditions down here, so they can know exactly that solar test bed, you know, what's going on with there. So they're giving us money for not my first weather station. This is an industrial weather station. This is a really nice weather station. And then all of this data will be fed in real time back to Boulder, so the engineers can look at it. And that's pretty much what it is in a nutshell. They gave us a little bit of money so we can update this energy strategy up here. A big plus for this up here is they're giving us money for a kiosk. And so you'll be able to see all of this data in Boulder, but you'll be able to see all of this data up here on some really nice new screens. And it'll be very, very nice. As you drive into the research campus, you know, it's our main building, and we're going to put it out in front, so try to dress it up a little bit. And then we're also going to have area because we have this industrial weather station, we've gotten a lot of interest already in people that, you know, we'll have a conventional panels, just basic panels, and this industrial weather station. So if people are doing R&D for PV, photovoltaics, and they want to test this small, you know, maybe 5 to 10 kW system, they can put it next to this conventional system and they can have good data to see how their new project performs or their new technology performs against conventional. And we've gotten 3 people. We've talked to Sole Focus. We'd like to see this double axis tracker move down there next to our conventional in the test bed. So it could be a nice gateway center. I'll close with this. For those of you on the board of Friends of NELHA, I apologize. I wanted to show you guys this first. But one of the things the board wants to do is improve our outreach. It's one of the main things in my first annual review from the board is it's one of the things they said we need to do more outreach. And so this is just a beautiful facility for outreach, and I think we can work together with FON and develop some more projects. So I put a red here, maybe that's the location. This is conceptual. A location for the kiosk so people could see it from outside. They wouldn't have to come in the building. This is maybe a path where people would look at some of the agriculture projects, and this is out of a plan that the people that designed this building put together. And some aquaculture along here, a fountain here, a wind over here, and maybe another feature over here, and then coming back. And I don't know, do we do tours now, Guy?
Yes.
Outside? So what we're bringing up here in the next couple of weeks is the big pipe that is down at the research campus. We're going to finally do it, and it will be right over here in the corner. We have a spot located for it. Probably going to be different than the original fountain that's down at the research campus, but we would like to have a water fountain out here just with the cold water continually flowing. It's very exciting for people to feel 4-degree Celsius water. And then this is a project that Guy is going to work on.
We're looking for volunteers.
This is a perfect group. Okay, let's put everybody's name. No, but this is the what I term. Tom Daniels can talk about it. This is what I call the relic, and this is the first OTEC engine. Tom.
It's a mini OTEC generator and turbine. And
Yeah.
that was in 1979. It's the first time electrical power was generated at sea, and they generated net 50 kilowatts.
So this is historic, I think. We were going to bring it up here. We're going to put it in the lab building over here, or just outside the lab building. We'd like to work with groups like this. We'd like to work with the schools. We would like to work with, FON and people. We'd like to restore this, and then we'd like to display it because we think it really, is something. And then, you guys remember that wind turbine we had on the, well, we have its dad in crates down at the campus. And these are the blades. So you can see the one that was up here at the guard shack. These are 10-foot blades. It's a 2 kW turbine. And, we would like to put it right out here. I don't know if it would, that's a wind turbine. So this is where the pipe's going to go. This is the fountain. Maybe the relic would go here. I'm not sure, but the wind turbine would be 25 feet in the air.
So the top of that diagram is the new frontage road?
This is the highway.
Okay, because the highway's going to extend down quite a ways when they do the widening, and then the frontage road's going to be between there and the highway. So, yeah, just check it.
I think this is the frontage road here, Kahili.
Oh, I see. It's going to go below. Okay.
And this is the highway, and this is,
That's, okay, that's the end.
The highway, I think, ends, the guard check is right about here. I cut it off,
Yeah,
but there's
guard check
plenty of
goes
room.
when they put the new highway in.
Huh?
The guard check goes when they put the new highway in, because it's on the right of way for the highway.
So anyway, but we'd like to see, you know, the turbine is not UL approved, it can't be connected to the grid, it's a prototype that they gave us. But we think it could be used as, you know, what we at NELHA would like to say to FON is that we would like to see, help you work together so we can get more people here, because there's so many good things that we have here. But if we had a big 25-foot tall wind turbine spinning out there compared to that little one we had, I think we could just draw them in. And I think we could find some engineers
Right.
that would love to put that thing together. I have the instructions. But we need our crane to come up here, the tripod, you know, it's very heavy, and it all bolts together, and I think it'd be a wonderful project, frankly, for the community.
Especially if it made ice cream.
Well, or beer. These guys are into beer now, you know. But,
So will that new turbine, will that run lights for the parking lot?
yeah, I'd like to see it do that. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
when the wind was
Yeah. I mean, this one attracted so much attention. Look at the size of these blades. You know, it's just beautiful. I mean, that's a vision, you know, a vision I have. You know, call me crazy, you know, I don't care, but I think Rod, really excited, aren't you, Rod?
Sounds great.
Let me turn the camera around. So we can say, well, look, I have proof he said he was. So anyway, that's all I have. I just like, that's where we are today.
What about the hydrogen fuel cell motorcycle racetrack?
Yes, okay, that, I didn't want to bring it up today, so, that will be, it's gonna be offshore. Way offshore. It's on submerged lands. Okay?
Yeah, I like that.
With fins.
That's right.
But-